Hi guys, I'm Hayden Crawford from the Dreemtime Academy and I'm a wellness coach and spiritual teacher specialising in colour therapy and numerology. Here are my 12 traits that you are an Andromedan Starseed. So Andromedan Starseeds originate from either the Andromeda Galaxy or the Andromeda Constellation. The Andromeda Galaxy actually being 2.5 million light years away from our galaxy, which is the Milky Way. And scientists believe that in around about 5 billion years that they're going to collide. Now, it is possible to see the Andromeda Galaxy with the naked eye on some really clear nights because it is very bright and it appears like a spiral within the night sky. It's absolutely stunning. Andromedan Starseeds are a very intelligent, loving and beautiful race, and they exist in higher dimensions up to the 12th. Because of this, they find it quite challenging incarnating here on the Earth plane because of the density, and because of that there are less of them than any other star races, like the Pleiadians and Arcturians. There's only about 1 million of them that exist here on the planet at this moment in time. Andromedan Starseeds tend to live quite understated lives because they don't like being in the limelight. Their high levels of energy can influence and affect people around them, and they're capable of opening up new galactic energetic pathways, and they can be quite fearful of their own power. Sometimes they just don't know what to do with it. So, in a nutshell, the Andromedan Starseed is a bit of an undercover hero. They're a freedom seeker, a traveller, and don't like following rules and regulations. You often find them working in support roles that might seem mundane but make a massive difference on the planet, or as a freelancer or an artist. Now, I want to tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was living in the southwest of Australia and I was going through my midlife awakening. Now, during this period, I couldn't sleep very well at night, and one evening I woke up and I found myself asking, well, where am I from and what am I here to do? And I just lay there, and before I knew it, I received the word Andromeda. And at the time, I didn't know what it meant. So I kept hold of the word, and the next morning, I Googled it and found out that the Andromedan Starseeds are actually here to be able to teach people self-love and self-acceptance, but also to rediscover their inner wisdom so that they can enjoy a life of more freedom, joy, and purpose. And from that moment onwards, I very much dedicated the Dreemtime Academy to providing tools and techniques and courses to be able to help Starseeds through the awakening process. The Andromedan Starseed mission is to help humanity evolve their consciousness, and they do this through either their teaching or spiritual work. They really struggle with 9 to 5 daily routines, and because of this can change their jobs on several different occasions throughout the course of their lifetime. They are in direct opposition to the reptilians, who are all about control. The Andromedans want freedom, not only for themselves, but for the rest of humanity as well. And they hate any form of enslavement and any rules and regulations that restrict people. So the Andromedan Starseeds are really here to be able to help humanity to be able to rediscover their inner wisdom so that they can live a life of more joy, freedom, and purpose. And only by teaching people how to love and accept themselves unconditionally and to step into their authentic power and wisdom can they do that successfully. For the Andromedan Starseed to fulfill their mission successfully, they must activate their dormant DNA by allowing more light in. And this can only be done by confronting their shadow patterns and limiting beliefs and frozen emotions. They also need to fully learn to love and accept themselves just as they are and work on issues of low self-esteem or low self-worth as well. Now, the Andromedan Starseeds, depending on where they are in the world, can present themselves in many different forms. They tend to be very slim though and have a hard time putting weight on, and their style tends to be quite unique because they like to express themselves freely. So let's have a look at these 12 traits of the Andromedan Starseed. Well, number 1 is that they are freedom seekers. You won't find a very happy Andromedan Starseed working in a controlled office environment where they're being monitored by a big boss. They don't like any form of hierarchy, and because of this, they tend to set up their own businesses where they can empower other people to be able to stand in their own light. Number 2 is that they're rebels. Now, the Andromedan Starseed struggles with any form of governmental rules and regulations and laws. They absolutely despise any form of corruption. They also don't relate to taxes. They can't understand why you have to pay to live on a planet that you're born on. Number 3 is that they're nomads. The Andromedan Starseed loves to travel, and you'll always find them planning their next trip. They're attracted to places like Machu Picchu or Stonehenge or the Great Pyramids of Giza, or anywhere that they can learn about ancient cultures. They find travel a form of spiritual expansion. Number 4 is that they are amazing judges. And it's almost impossible to manipulate an Andromedan Starseed, and that's because they recognise if you've got a hidden agenda, and they'll do something about it straight away. They dislike any form of unfairness, so don't try and make them feel guilty about something that blatantly isn't true. They don't like emotional outbursts either, and they're quite protective of their emotional boundaries. Number 5 is that they are outsiders. Now, most Andromedans find it very difficult understanding how most people think because they can see how they're being brainwashed by the media and all of the propaganda, and they're not themselves. So it can be quite frustrating for them to live on the planet, and because of that, they can become outsiders. Number 6 is that they have a lack of self-confidence. Now, they usually appear to have bags of confidence to the outside world, but inwardly, they often struggle with self-love. Sometimes they feel like other people won't really want to hear what they've got to say because they have got this issue with self-love themselves, so can shrink back down and suppress it all. However, as most Andromedan Starseeds mature, they tend to overcome this as they step into their own power. Number 7 is that they don't like commitments. Andromedan Starseeds don't like to feel obligated to do anything because they value their freedom so much. They frequently change jobs, change houses, change friends, change relationships in order for them to maintain that. And if they feel controlled by anyone, then they tend to run a mile. Now, because of this, they can be labelled as being either flaky or unreliable, which is a real pity because all they really want is to feel free. As they mature, they understand that true freedom comes from within. Number 8 is that they're drawn to ancient cultures. The Andromedan Starseed is captivated by old civilizations like that of Lemuria and Atlantis, and often travel to places to go and connect up to higher vibrational frequencies like that of Mount Shasta. They somehow feel closer to home when they're in these environments. Number 9 is that they are connected to nature. Andromedan Starseeds, like a lot of the other Starseed types, are really drawn to the water and also nature in general, such as the forests and woods, and they love nothing more than just taking a long brisk walk along a beach or exploring the woodland. They are much better off actually having a house which is right by the ocean so that they can look out onto the turquoise waters, as it helps them to feel really uplifted. Number 10 is that they have a good balance between their male and female energies. Now, unlike a lot of humans that really struggle with this concept of getting the male and female in balance, the Andromedans do naturally, and this is because they originate from the 12th dimensional frequency, where the soul is a lot higher vibration, and this is where there is an energy of androgyny. Number 11 is that they are selfless. Andromedans are not selfish or egotistical. They're actually very spiritual and very loving. They're very collective consciousness focused, and they want to be of service to humanity. They never try and control or manipulate anybody because they realise that that's a very low vibration. They just don't want to be a part of it. And finally, number 12 is that they're very inspiring. Andromedans do lead very inspiring lives because they're always trying to evolve, learn and grow. They're always on the lookout for new wisdom to be able to attain and then offer that to their students. They are the archetypal teacher and guide. Well, I hope you resonated with these traits of the Andromedan Starseed. Make sure you leave a few comments and let me know what you thought. See you next time. Bye for now.